Hey guys, we're moving to concept 11, which deals with properties of numbers. And we want to move to level 2, which you can be able to simplify algebraic expressions by combining like terms. Alright, I got 3 problems for you. Let's get to the first one here. Pretty simple. I want to organize some boxes of cookies and some regular cookies into groups. So we're going to define these 3 boxes as 3B. I don't know how many cookies are in here, and they're the same for each one. So I'm just going to say 3 times however many cookies are in a box. I'm going to call that B. So that will give me the total for all those cookies right there. Well, I have 4 just regular cookies, and I have 2 boxes, so I'm going to take 2 times however many is in each box, which is the same amount. And then I have 5 cookies. So try to draw this as best you can. Put it in your WSQ, and below it we want to write 3B plus 4 cookies plus 2 boxes plus 5. Now, to simplify this, we're going to move some things around. Now, you remember the commutative property that we talked about. The commutative property says I can move the numbers around if it's all adding or multiplying. So I'm going to move this 2B and the 4, I'm going to have them trade places, which I did on the second line here. So now I have 3B plus 2B plus 4 plus 5. And we're going to do the associative property that we had, and I want to group the 3 boxes and the 2 boxes. I want to add those 2 together, and I want to group the 4 and the 5 cookies together. So basically, forgot to do this, we're going to switch these around, and I'm going to add the boxes with the boxes and the cookies with the cookies. So when we do that, we're going to have 5 boxes, 5B, plus 9 cookies. And that's called combining like terms. So you want to put that as a term on your WSQ. And I got a couple other terms here. You want to write a variable term. This 5B is called a variable term. And the 9 is called my constant term. All right? So take a second, put those down, and label them. And then we'll move on to our second problem here. All right. Now I don't have any pictures, but we want to do the same type of thing. Write an expression for 6 cookies plus 4 blue boxes of cookies plus 5 red boxes of cookies plus 8 cookies. I should have some cookies here to eat from you, but I did. Trying to be nice. And make this in 4 minutes. So we're going to put this down. See if I got it there. There we go. Here we go. So the first thing we got is we want to be able to add 6 cookies. So I'm going to write 6 plus 4 boxes of cookies, 4B. Don't write 5B because they're 2 different boxes. And I don't know how much is in the red box compared to the blue box. So I'm going to call this 5R. And then I got 8 cookies. So this would be the expression I want to write. Now I want to simplify that expression. I want to make it easier to work with. So what can I do first? Well, you're right. I'm going to use the commutative property, and I'm going to flip the 5R and the 6. I'm going to move the 6 here, and I'm going to move the 5R. I'm going to slide it over, and I'm going to move the 6 over here. And I can do that because of the commutative property. Now I have 4B plus 5R plus 6 plus 8. Now I want to do a little grouping here. I want to group these together. And I want to add the 6 and an 8. And I can't group these together because they're not what we say like terms. The only thing I can add with a 4B is something with a B. And the only thing I can add with a 5R is something with an R. They're called like terms, and you can only add like terms. So now, if I keep sliding things down here, that's the associative property where I group these together. All right, let's move on. Now I can add the 14, or the 6 and the 8, and I'll get 14. And again, you cannot add these together. Don't say 9BR or anything like that. Just write 4B plus 5R. And this is, as best you can do, that's called combining like terms. All right, Let's go to our last problem. All right, we want to simplify the perimeter of a rectangle by combining like terms. So take a second, write down P equals, see if you can write down the perimeter going around the outside. So write out how would you find the perimeter with the length and the width and the length and the width. All right, so hopefully you wrote P is the length plus the width plus the length plus the width. Now, let's see if you can simplify using those two properties that we talked about, the commutative property about switching things, switching the numbers, and grouping with the associative property with the grouping symbols, and then combine the like terms together. All right, did you figure out which two you're going to switch? All right, so I'm going to do the switching property. I switched these two right here together. So I switched the W and the L. So I moved the L over, and then I put the W back over here. All right, so that's called the commutative property. Now we want to group them together. So I'm going to group the length with the length, and I'm going to group the two W's together because they're like terms. I'm going to put those two together and these two. And then we're going to add L plus L. Well, there's a 1 right here. You got to remember there's a 1 sitting here. So it's like 1L and 1L. And so, and then there's going to be a 1W and a 1W. So if I add those two together, what do you get? Well, I'm going to get 2L plus 2W, and that's combining like terms. Combine the W with the W's, the L's with the L's. And that is another way to find the perimeter of a rectangle. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. 2 W's and 2 L's. All right, good luck on your homework. Catch you later.